The most amazing thing about the CFMEU allegation of corruption and bikie gang involvement exposed by 9 newspapers in 60 Minutes this past couple of weeks has been the conga line of Labor politicians and union officials going, "What? Corruption? Oh wow, what a surprise. Who knew?" It was great to see the ABC actually holding the left wing of politics to account, as the 7:30 report did in this interview with Sally McManus, the head of the peak union body in our country, the Australian Council of Trade Unions, the ACTU.
After 60 Minutes, it's well and truly, on the table about what is happening. Once you know that organised crime is actually in a union, you've got to take, measures to do everything you can to get rid of it.
When you say you heard rumours, what did you do when you heard rumours about the involvement of organised crime in the construction division of the CFMEU?
I never heard rumours of organised crime. being involved. There were Facebook posts of people that people alleged were bikies or used to be bikies. I'd always raise those issues immediately with the relevant leaders of the CFMEU at the time, and made it very clear that there's no place for this in our union movement.
Did you do anything more than just raise the existence of Facebook pages? Did you report them to police or other authorities?
Well, it's more when people brought them to my attention, and the answers I got back about that, except in the case of Zack Smith, the new National Secretary, who went about finding out everything he could and then putting in place measures within his union to have a code of conduct to start removing people that appeared to be connected to various groups. He did start doing that, and I would expect cooperate with the police. At that time, there was no allegations of any wrongdoing. The allegations of wrongdoing came out on Sunday night.
ACTU Chief Sally McManus there, speaking to Sarah Ferguson on the ABC's 7:30 report. So she's saying there that the new National Secretary of the CFMEU, Zack Smith, went about finding out everything he could, then put in place a code of conduct to weed out anyone who appeared to be connected to various groups. We knew nothing.
Are you saying that in those reports that you heard and in the action you took, no further detail was brought to you or to Zack Smith about the involvement of members or associates of bikie gangs in the activities of the CFMEU?
Yeah, no information whatsoever brought to me about that before the allegations have been aired by that other network.
So there's no question that you've been ignoring allegations made against the CFMEU because you were fearful of the union's power and influence?
No, of course not. Of course not. Here I am saying we'll stand up against organised crime.
Well, you're saying that, I beg your pardon, but you're saying that now in the wake of media reporting. I want to understand what you knew and what you did before those reports were made public.
Oh, I've given you those answers.
And that's all you have to say, that when it comes to reports of organised crime, bikies being involved, being given positions in the CFMEU, were you aware of those specific allegations?
Absolutely not.
Wow, good job, Sarah Ferguson, the most balanced thing I've seen on the ABC in years. The head of the ACTU was not the only official who was so utterly shocked and surprised by these media revelations. Almost the entire Labor Party was caught off guard, it seems. Even The Project was having a crack at them.
My plan to tear out this rotten culture at its roots is coming together.
But the Victorian Premier and the PM have been accused of turning a blind eye, with claims they failed to act on allegations of extreme violence and standover tactics sent to them in 2022.
Why did it take you a year to respond?
It's clear that the correspondence was not processed quickly enough.
Yesterday, the CFMEU placed its Victorian and South Australian branches into administration. But corruption and criminality began long before Setka's reign. The Builders Labourers Federation, the CFMEU's predecessor, deregistered in the wake of scandals involving corruption, thuggery and violence in 1986.
Those were the days. Well, following all the fallout, the federal government last week called administrators into the CFMEU and called the Federal Police in to investigate as well. What Peter Dutton called the weakest possible response from Albanese. Then the ACTU suspended the union's membership of its organisation. As 9 News reported, this sparked some pretty interesting comments from the union's officials.
The federal government has seen enough.
You know why I'm here today.
The minister asking for the construction wing of the CFMEU to be placed into administration, and the federal police called in to investigate.
If there's any challenge to that, we're certainly prepared to legislate to ensure that that occurs.
In a statement, the union's Queensland secretary said Albanese has panicked and soiled himself.
We see wrongdoing and we have acted.
The Queensland government has been having its own issues with the CFMEU, locked in a pay dispute which is holding up work on Brisbane's new Cross River Rail project. Queensland Premier Stephen Miles, who faces an election in October, seemed to be equally as shocked and surprised by the idea that there could be anything inappropriate going on in the CFMEU, just as shocked as his Victorian and federal counterparts, as ABC News Queensland reported.
The allegations that have been made there are very concerning.
The Police Commissioner will speak with his Victorian counterpart to share information to decide if any investigations are required in Queensland. Stephen Miles says he won't meet with Queensland members and is seeking advice on how to disaffiliate from the union.
The CFMEU has not donated to the Labor Party for some time. We will not be accepting donations from the CFMEU while these allegations are being investigated.
Queensland Premier Stephen Miles speaking on ABC News there. Hope you enjoyed that clip. The Other Side is your weekly analysis of the media's best news and commentary without the woke, and we need your support. Please make sure you subscribe to our channel on YouTube and follow us on X at The Other Side on X. It's all totally free to do that, but we could always do with your financial support too. So if you'd like to make a donation, click the Super Thanks button on YouTube with a little $ and thanks on it right under the video frame below. Even a $2 donation will really help us. And if you're watching on YouTube, do check out the full episode that this clip came from right here.